So hello everyone, Mono here, and welcome to my review of Sword Oratoria episode 12. In the last episode, I might do some later, like a full anime season review of the season, the whole episode, maybe next week. I don't have time. But yeah, this is the last final. I felt it was pretty lackluster, right? It wasn't like the worst episode ever. Actually, the whole battle was great. The thing is that the whole battle was good, right? Like, I liked the whole battle. I loved that she was like spellcasting, especially like she do this like fake super fast language. Like, they were like, she can cast spell in super speed or something like that. Because they had to say the word, and it was like fire, and it's like, okay, she can summon fire magic because she can say the word fire like 10 times faster. And that was great actually. And as a last boss of an anime, or like this really fine, she made a lot of sense because she was way stronger than we've ever seen before in this anime, and also the Danmachi, right? Like the Belco's last boss in season 1. There's nothing to compete this woman, right? She had like the spirit, she can do both, like she had ice in the end there. She had like meteor, like classic Final Fantasy, right? Some like massive meteor thing, like Sephiroth, the very classic thing, right? And also the spells, of course, in the 3 games. Then she has some kind of firestorm, she has some lightning attacks, it's an icicle attack, like Froststrike, and Leslie also was supposed to think where she got killed by ice. So she had, pretty much every element. She had like the fire, wind, and so on, right? She did all the different, earth. It's a meteor, I guess, and so on. So she had a vast variation of magic, quick spell casting, like combo spell casting. She had a lot of stuff going on for her. She was a good boss in that sense. And there were some really epic moments there, like Garrett blocking them after Reveria. I think you can pronounce the phrase right, Reveria, I think I'm pronouncing it correctly. How she was doing her ballet, then he jumps in with his shield, like classic, and he's like, Eson, like, oh, grandpa, don't die, And obviously Beat respects him a lot. This is what I mean, but it's like classic this scene, like he's like, oh no, not my grandpa, that kind of thing when he's getting hit right. They do that thing, and then later on also got impaled by the wall, that was great as well. But it was like kind of a weird battle though, in the sense of how it's presented, because they entered this thing, right? It's like, she's a spirit. And so we get this whole thing. And then it's like, she doesn't really use those, she's like a plant woman, so kind of spirit embodied into this like hybrid plant. But does she actually ever use that? She doesn't actually use it. That's like the weird battle, because she used the wall thing. That's pretty much that. That's some tentacle attack, but it was very minimum, like once or something. She did like 4 or 5 spells, right? So they might could have fought that shade woman with the like weird. It doesn't end with a gauntlet with kind of weird super set. They might have fought her, They might as well have fought like a spellcaster woman standing in a corner, like I can control these caterpillars, and behind them I'm doing this like fire, blast, different kind of element attacks. That might as well be it, because they finish her up by just punching her in the face pretty much when they actually got it to her, right? So that's a little weird. It's like, okay, so we have to get this as like, yeah, she's a spirit. The spirits are strong, and so when that's like her fourth grade, that she can do really good magic. She can combine this stuff, and she's non-human, and that's a nice, whatever race they are, spirits. And nice, which I always say she's half spirit at best, right? Maybe in football, who knows? But she's still kind of spirit, hybrid spirit thing as well, right? And they can do the thing and so on. And of course, I was like, what? A monster that can use magic? Well, probably she's not actually a monster. She's more like a spirit that has been, hybrid into some kind of monster, right? Something like that. We actually never get to know really, right? That's coming too soon. But I mean, generally, the battle was good. Like, actually felt really good. Especially when they blast off half her face. That was a really nice scene there. And the end was like classic thing, I'm jumping in the air, and she flies down, like, yeah, I'm gonna impale you, and get this like, explosive thing, and so on, right? We get the Dansho, when he's doing like some berserk spell. First time he used some skill there, right? And so on. And we also get Tsubaki, like the huge lady with the huge assets. She's jumping in there with like, oh, I can do a lot of weapons. I'm level 5 actually. And she jumps in there and kill everything and so on. So it has some really good scenes there. But the actual boss was kind of weird. So like, okay, she's a hybrid monster thing, but she doesn't use anything of those plant things. She just killed them all herself with the meteor. Like, yeah, first spell, I killed my whole teammates. Like, my whole army of spell, I just killed them all. And then I fight it with my different kind of like, flash magic attacks. So it's like, okay, I mean, the whole battle could have basically just been, her, some kind of old witch lady with a lot of spells casting, pretty much, right? That would be the same thing. Effectively, that would be the same thing. She died from my attack anyway, pretty much. So you hit twice and died, right? She had like 0 health points, pretty much, in defense, right? But she had the flower wing things, which okay, fine, but They had one armor thing, but that was the rule she died. So it was kind of like, what? On that level, right? Kind of weird. Of course, the caterpillar kind of re-entered again later on, and they kind of died in one attack. So that's a little weird. But I think, okay, anyway, good battle. But obviously, the main issue is that there is like no stake in fighting this spirit, and I really did not see that coming in the beginning. I was like, why is no flashback here? Like I expected it to be first 10 minutes flashback of Ice, seeing Ice's mom, seeing Ice's backstory. How does this spirit relate to her? Why does it hate her? Because Arya made probably all spirit know she probably like the gods. She's like, she can see Arya in Ice. She's like, oh, I can see you there, Arya, have you waited for me, blah blah, and so on, right? So that's probably something, but it's never like touched upon, right? And then she has her other rival, Revis, the red-haired tamer, it's also hybrid body, right? And she is used somewhere else as a model of this like monster pillar eating monster, like crystals, whatever they are, and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna fight that woman one day. And it's like, I don't care what's happening here. Like, shouldn't she be the last boss? I mean, obviously put it in some season 2 or something, right, or whatever. Right? But it's kind of weird. Like, it's very anticlimactic in that sense because you just like get down to that level. We don't really learn much. I feel they have some epilogue later, but I don't think they add into something really, right? Except them being like, yeah, we created monster that show us that we can create this spirit in the monster and so on. So they do this whole epilogue thing of the evil people, and they're like, yeah, our like spirit creation works like this and so on. But it's very nonsense to me if you ask me. It doesn't really tell you anything about the grand scheme. They're like the major plan. It's very like small detail there. And it's like max 1 minute, right? So it's very little in the actual main story. So basically they get down there and they fight this huge monster, right? That suddenly appears to them, and she's a spirit like Ice or something like that, but it doesn't touch upon like really, right? And it's like whatever, it's over. So it's kind of weird, yeah. I really wish I was kind of lackluster because I really wished we had some more story progression on Ice, especially. So now I feel I almost have to go and read the light novel to get the Ice information, or it's a synapse. Yeah, like I want to know about Ice and her mom and so on, right? That's to me it's more interesting than seeing this like, I don't know what can it be, 15 minutes or so, 60 minutes of battle, and then like 2 minutes of epilogue. So it's like one of the evil guys saying mostly nonsense, not really giving us something huge. And then 1 minute of like Loki with Garrett and so on. I was talking about the spirit thing, and they also confirming that she knew Ice or Arya and blah blah blah. But they don't really give it. The problem is that none of them, same with the evil guys and the good guys, none of them actually give us anything, actual substance of meat, right? They're both like, yeah, she was a spirit hybrid monster, interesting, and she knew Ice, interesting, yeah, and like none of them actually give us something. I was the reader or the watcher, I mean, couldn't figure out ourselves right by watching it. I was like, yeah, it's a computer. Like, but they don't actually connect, or like, they just connect some of the dots that we can do anyway, but they don't actually tell us, okay, this what it means, right? So as a viewer, I can have like 10 different theories, which I've already said in my earlier reviews, like Ice is half spirit. Her father obviously was in one of the scenes there. Having her mother die, I guess she kind of incorporated the spirit power or something. Like Steven Universe I used to compare it to, and that's why everyone see her as a spirit, because the other spirits you see her as what she is, right, more than actually like her spirit, soul, right, more than actually her physical form. It's more about the spirit form, as in spirits, right there. So they see her soul and not her physical appearance. Instead of, so that's why they see Arya instead of Ice. So that's my theory, and that's probably correct, I'm guessing, but nothing is confirmed or deconfirmed, right? Because they don't touch upon, some really good stuff. They don't touch upon like the actual meat of the story. They just say stuff and they just confirm stuff that's very, very obvious, and they don't confirm anything else. They just have their own theories. Like the good have, that probably means she's a spirit, right? Ice, yeah, like they actually give us like, it's like, yeah, or I mean, even if they say she's a spirit, and they pretty much confirm that. Of course they did then there, but I mean generally they didn't like speak about who was the spirit boss shift they fought. What did that mean? Like for real, like not to say, oh, I fought the spirit boss. Interesting. I finally have a god, yeah. What does that mean? Like it felt like I wanted the epilogue to be them sitting with Loki and all her gods. This is Loki and her team, right? But instead of her sitting with the other gods, like Herman and so on, discussion is like, yeah, so my guy actually fought this spirit, those god spirits that we, you know, like banished or something. What would this actually mean? Do they want to fight us gods? Or, you know, like something like that would have been so much more meaningful. So we had Loki also being like, yeah, us is probably a spirit, and that was a spirit, and the guy means Uranus. He's fighting with his has an alliance with spirits, yeah. Like that pretty much forget, right? So I found it was a very lackluster ending there, very lackluster. The battle was great, but like the whole story prophecy, like what happened to the story here? Like we get almost no story, right? So yeah, that's just because yeah, I was like, what can I say really? Like I wish they would go into you know, more of that. Some small details I can say. I like it was really fast. Like my eyes, she changed. That's typical. She's ready for that. That was good. You know, some other portions. Yeah, some other good scenes. Generally, the Berserk thing was really nice, and the ending of the fair to deflecting Loki was really nice. So it has some, you know, cute moments. So, but yeah, general, and yeah, the party ends was pretty cute. You see them being drunk, Tsubaki hitting on people, because she seems to be this, like, you know, very like boisterous woman, right, jumping around there with her, you know, assets in people's faces, so on, right. And like Raoul trying to be cool, and even though he was like did like one spell and then he like pretty much knocked out, and we did do all that thing, right. Yeah, decent episode, but not a very strong episode. I feel like 6 out of 10 or so. I just felt that I just wanted more storyline. And I actually have to say, in the epilogue, I felt I almost want to see more of Belkun too in Hestia. They had, of course, they show them and they show her as a shopkeeper somewhere, right? But I kind of wanted them to be interesting, because we know how it ends in Bel's side, right? If that was the last scene after Loki and so on, maybe it's kind of connected, but I don't know. But that's a little weird as well. But yeah. Anyway, see you guys. Hope you'll follow me for the next coming seasons here. I think there are mainly a couple of like romantic comedy animes thing coming this season, and there's like Summer Vacation and so on here, and so on and so forth. So I'll see if I'm gonna be doing everything at perfect like weekly rate. We will see in the future that can go. But anyway, have a great day, and I'll see you guys